here as your host and moderator for today. And today's topic is ways to use social media as a tool to drive your business. And our guest is Estephania Leja. I'm so excited to have her. Now, this is part 2 in a series, and it's actually her second session in a row. You can watch her first session on SARE National's YouTube channel. So let me tell you a little bit about our wonderful speaker today. Estephania is a talented designer with more than 6 years of experience creating intentional brand identities and graphics for startups, small businesses, and international marketing agencies. She's the owner and lead designer at Estephania Designs, where her team focuses on elevating brands and empowering Latina-owned businesses with smart strategic design. Estephania loves hosting networking events for local women entrepreneurs, yes, both in English and Spanish, to educate, empower, and provide the extra support business owners often need. She's an accomplished public speaker. She enjoys speaking at events and training sessions, and Estephania lives right here in Dallas. She's active in her community. She's a proud member of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where she leads the women's division group Mujeres Poderosas. And pardon my Spanish. Shout out to my Spanish, my high school Spanish teacher for that. Estephania, is there anything you don't do? I don't know. And so now that you know a bit about her, I'm going to go on and mute myself and watch the presentation along with all of you. And as a reminder, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. Estephania.
Hi, Jasmine. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the amazing introduction. I am back. I hope that some of you guys are returning from last week's presentation, which we covered more on branding and what it was about, the importance of it. And this week we are focusing on social media as a tool to drive your business success because we didn't touch too much on it last time. So if you are an entrepreneur who already has a social media account or wants to start one, then this is the presentation for you, and let's get started. So this is what we already know, or most of you know. So businesses should have a social media presence because it represents a huge opportunity that should not be missed, right? Most of us know that. But what's the challenge? The challenge is building a community from scratch to increase visibility and positioning of your business. So when I get a lot of clients come to me and they say, I already have my business. Sometimes they're 1 to 3 years in, or sometimes they're barely going to start from scratch. They don't know where to start, right? They know they're going to have to start an account from scratch. They don't know what type of content to start posting, or why should they even be on Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform is best for them. So let's go over 5 benefits of social media for small businesses, because this is where I always start, so that they understand why they should even be on there and why they should even put effort into thinking about being active on their platforms and put thought into what content to put out there, right? So the number 1 benefit, it's obviously building brand awareness. What does this mean? That not only people that go to your physical restaurant or your physical beauty salon are going to know about your business, but you're already going to be in the digital space, which means that, for those of you that don't know, the internet never sleeps. So while you're asleep, while your clients are asleep, there's someone on their phone searching up Dallas brand designer, Dallas Mexican food restaurant, right? They're looking for stuff to do this weekend. They're looking for somewhere to go eat tomorrow, somewhere to go get their nails done with their friends tomorrow. So this means that they're already looking for stuff. If you're already on there, they're already going to be able to land on your platform, see where you're located. They might even already be able to pull up your prices. If you have a booking link on there, they're already going to be able to book while you're asleep, and you already have probably deposit money in your wallet. By the time you wake up, you already have these notifications of new bookings, new people finding your business. Maybe they just liked your post, maybe they saved your post, or they shared it. This is already helping you build brand awareness. One share, one save can take you a long way. One share on a DM can start a conversation with friends and bring you a whole group of 10 people to get their nails done by tomorrow, or to go eat at your restaurant. So this is what building brand awareness means. Number 2, it's going to allow you to stand out based on your customer service. So a lot of us know customer service in person, right? But when it comes to online, It's very important to also have excellent customer service because, again, this is already speaking of you and of your business when you're not in the room. So if they have questions about your services, if they have questions about maybe the process, for instance, if I was going to get lash extensions and it was my first time, I would more than likely have a ton of questions, right? I might ask some friends that have already gone to you, or I might reach out directly to you and ask, hey, I'm a first timer. Is there anything I should know? Is there anything I should do the night before or the day of? Um, for instance, I know if you're doing like laser hair removal, you have to shower before you go because you're not going to be able to shower like within the next 24 to 48 hours, something like that. So it's important to be able to have that connection. And if you're able to reply to them and provide excellent customer service, then they're going to be sold, right? They're going to be sold. And then they're even going to invite a friend the next time they go back to you. And it's just going to attract them more towards your business and finding out more about you and what you do. Number three, another benefit is acquiring leads in a low cost way. Again, this goes back a little bit to kind of making money or making leads while you're asleep, because this is not really costing you anything to have a platform, right? We can all have social media platforms. However, you decide if you want to do organic content or like paid ads or campaigns, but it's really a low cost way to develop leads, just by offering a freebie or having people, send you a DM and start a conversation there. That literally costs you nothing. Providing excellent customer service online costs you nothing, but the willingness to do so. Um, Number four is to learn more about your customers. So let's say that I had a physical place and my clients come and go, right? We don't have a lot of time to sit down really with each customer and find out like a little bit about their story, make that connection. But now that we're online, we're able to connect with them directly. We can see their stories. We can see that they took, I don't know, they took Sally to school. They had some Starbucks today. Maybe they tried the new seasonal drink and we're able to connect with them and say, wow, that looks so good. Would you recommend that drink? Or, whatever it is, we're able to directly connect with them. Or whenever it's the other way around too, when the customers tag us, let's say that they used your dress that you sell or your jewelry and they tagged you or they mentioned you on their stories, you're able to not only reshare that story, but you're able to give them a thank you for, buying your product or service, and you're able to provide maybe like a discount code or promotional code so that they can go back to your website or go back to your store and buy from you again, right? In return to their loyalty, right? It's a way of saying thank you and at the same time having them to come back and maybe this time bring a friend, 2 for 1, whatever promotion you may be having. Number five is increasing website traffic and search ranking. So this is a sentence that might not make a lot of sense to someone that doesn't know a lot about how the internet works and how website SEO and all of that works. But in short, pretty much website traffic and search ranking can be increased whenever you have a link on your social media platforms. Let's say on this case, Instagram. I have a link and it takes them to different places, right? It can take them to my website, it can take them to my portfolio, it can take them to, let's say in this case, the link to register for this workshop. But just by clicking on the main link on my bio, it's already ranking up my search engine and it's benefiting my website because every click is a plus, you can say, for the results of my website. No matter what action they took after that, just by clicking, it's helping you and your business show up more on Google and rank up among your competitors. So this is an opportunity that you're missing out if you're not putting links on your social media platforms, because don't only put random links, of course, put one that's going to help you. For instance, I know like what is it, Linktree, and there's other platforms that allow you to put a bunch of links inside of that one link. Those are great. I've personally used them in the past, but that is not going to serve you through Google because they're not connected. So no matter how many times people click on that, if they don't click on your website, it's not helping you rank up on Google among your competitors. So I learned the hard way that you have to have it connected to your website. So create like a links page inside your website so that every time they click, it's actually helping you rank up on Google. And every time people search, I don't know, Dallas restaurants, Dallas whatever, you're already ranking up on Google and showing up, because the more people click on your links, then the more Google knows that you are an active and competent restaurant or business, whatever industry you're in. And this is just a quick fact that I found very interesting and that I think you will too. So, analysis from Kipios, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but so Kipios is a website or a organization that was founded to research and show people what the internet is about, what people are searching on the internet, and what we really do. Like, that's literally what the business focuses on, researching what the heck people do online. So an analysis from them showed that there are 4.7 billion active social media users around the world, meaning about 59% of the total global population. And it's almost twice as many as there were just 6 years ago. So can you imagine that? And where were we 6 years ago, right? We didn't have TikTok, we didn't have, I don't even remember if we had Snapchat, but there's been so many new platforms that have came out since then. And of course, the ones that have stayed were Facebook, and Instagram has developed and changed a lot throughout the years. So those users spend an average of 2 hours and 25 minutes on social channels every single day. What does this mean? That for those 2 hours and 25 minutes on social media that they're scrolling, browsing, whatever, this is a huge opportunity for us business to make business, right? To do business, to get in front of their face and try to make a connection, try to bring them to check out our website, try to get them to come just even check out our profile, to even know we exist, right? Because a lot of times people get on Instagram for different reasons. Some people is just to pass time while they're at work. Some people are actually looking, let's say, for holiday gifts that's coming up, birthday gifts, birthday things to do, fun things to do. People love the weekends, so they'll go on there, see where they can go have a margarita, where they have the best coffee shops. That's one of me. I love researching where they have the best coffee shops. Um, Anything, right? People use the internet for literally different reasons, but at the end of the day, all of us are on there competing to get their attention and to get their business. The difference is when we're not only focusing on getting their money, getting their business, getting in front of their face, but actually interacting with them and building a community rather than just customers all the time. So now let's move on to 10 ways to use social media to boost your business success. And the little graphic that I used here, I thought it was very funny because it has a huge magnet and it has obviously the social media platforms. So this is what I guess you could envision or imagine in your brain. You want your business to be that magnet and attract the people inside those apps, right? Not necessarily all of them, how it's shown here, but if we move to number one, it says differentiate the use of each social network and which one fits your business best. So, what does this mean? That even though there are a ton of social media platforms, and obviously the most popular is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and possibly Pinterest, that doesn't mean that you have to be on all of them, because one, social media is already hard enough, and two, if you try focusing on 5 platforms at a time when you're just starting out, it's going to make it 10 times harder, and you're more than likely not going to succeed in either one of those platforms. So, what do I recommend? I always recommend focusing on 1 or 2 platforms when you're starting out. Be smart about your content strategy. Start small, don't try to post every single day, come up with a strategy. Make sure it's benefiting your business, right? If you're a restaurant, if you're, let's say, a beauty business, you're more than likely not going to want to be on Pinterest or, let's say, Snapchat. If I was you, I'd start on Facebook and Instagram because those two are the strongest platforms right now. And it also depends on your audience, right? What age range is your ideal client in? Because again, Facebook and Instagram have different age range, right? For me, I found that the most more younger clients are on Instagram, and then the older generation are on Facebook. Don't get me wrong, some of us are still on Facebook, but you'll see the difference whenever it's time to interact or engage, get any type of response from them on your content. So really sit down and research which platform would be best for you. And let's say that you're in the wedding industry, I'd probably want to get on Instagram and Pinterest because brides are making their Pinterest board, and I recently got married, so I would know about that. We're making our wedding Pinterest board and looking for, I don't know, maybe like wedding shoes or wedding tips, and then that's when you can have whatever blog post is linked to your website or your product so that we can land there. And what do you know? We were just making a mood board and we ended up buying some shoes or buying a dress or buying whatever it was for the wedding. So sit down and take the time to figure out which platform is best for you, and then really put all your effort into those 1 to 2 platforms. And until you're successful with those, then you can move on to add a third or whatever platform. So number two, you can reach more audiences through your own contacts. This means, for instance, your primary network on Facebook. You know how you can invite people to go like your Facebook page, or to on Twitter to retweet, or LinkedIn, you have connections. So if you post something, you share something, you can send them a message, hey, would you mind sharing this, whatever. So this is not only benefiting you just by getting that share or the like, but it's actually sending it out to your contacts, and now they have new opportunity you have new opportunities to make a connection with people that weren't already in your little bubble inside your Facebook, inside your Twitter. Now it's on theirs, and if someone in there shares, then it's just a bigger network. Number three, constantly interact with your audience. So it's not just about having a social media platform, right? If you only have a Facebook account or Instagram account, whatever, and you feel like it's not doing anything for you, is probably because it's just sitting there, right? It probably just has stuff on there and you never move it. It has to be active. You have to constantly interact with your audience. I'm not saying spend an hour a day just browsing through, because I know a lot of us don't have that time to just sit there and focus on that. But it's important to engage with other people's content. If you want them to do that for your business, then you have to be willing to do that in return for someone else, right? For your businesses or for your clients, whoever is in your audience, you have to interact with them. Comment on whatever. Don't comment like robotic comments, because we are past that point now where we can tell if you're being like spammy or it's a fake account or whatever, or you're just doing it to get the plus from Facebook or Instagram. But actually interact. Like, social media is to be social. And I think that a lot of people forget that part. It's to be social. It should be fun, but at the same time, if you're using it for business, then always have like that in mind. Be social, but always be professional about it. But don't be afraid to interact with your audience. Like I said, if they mention you, if they repost you, don't be scared to start that conversation with them, because you never know where it can lead, right? Number four, use offers and discounts as an attraction for your customers. So this is like a way to reward your fans. Like I mentioned earlier, give them a promo code for their second shopping errands to do, or make offers for your new customers that haven't made a purchase yet. Number five, use resources such as images and videos. So obviously, video is king right now. For those of you that are familiar with Instagram Reels, they are pretty much killing, or not killing, but winning on top of like any other type of format content on Instagram, and Facebook. So these are like 15 to 30-second videos that you can make. And obviously, the more, I would say, the longer you've been in business, and if you have the budget to get professional video done all the time, then that's amazing. But as long as you try to stay active and keep up with maybe trends that fit for your business, you can make your own videos at home. Use your phone. Don't be scared. As long as you have, good lighting, high quality, like, don't post a pixely video, right? We want to be able to see what you're posting. You can do it yourself. Just make sure that it's always providing value and that it's serving your business rather than pushing people away from it or to unfollow you or block you, right? So use images and videos because a lot of us are very visual. And if I'm lazy to go read your caption, I want to at least see what your video or graphic has to say, right? And how many times have you heard that you should use some type of caption or subtitles on your videos? Because a lot of us, maybe we're in a meeting, maybe we're at work or we're driving or we're, I don't know, in someone else's house and we're just on social media but it's muted, we don't want to have sound. So if we scroll by it and we can kind of read what your video is about, we'll be like, oh, and so we'll keep watching because at the time we're not able to fully turn the sound on or something. So make sure that you're always being strategic about how you use your content in the different formats that you use. Number six, you want to include your social networks in everything, your websites, your brochures, your emails, etc. I have run across a lot of businesses that, have amazing platforms or have an amazing business, but they forget to really promote where they're at. So I have an example brochure here. So the first thing you'll see on my cover, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but here is the contact information, right? So I'll have my website, I'll have my Instagram. A lot of us use QR codes now to direct them easy and faster to wherever we want them to go. So whether you actually put your social handle or a QR code, put it on there, right? It's not going to hurt you. If anything, it's going to benefit you because some people are lazy to go on websites. They feel it's too crowded, too many pages. I want it straight to the point. I'm probably going to go on your Instagram, see if you have some highlights on there that serve as different pages or categories for me to find out what you offer, what you do, maybe your policy, your prices, maybe real client results, depending on your industry. So you want to make sure that by putting them on everything is opening new doors for you and your business. And same thing, if someone drops this on the floor, they find it, they like what they see, they're more than likely going to search you up and see what you're all about. For number seven, inform effectively about your business. So you want to make sure that you're always clear on your mission, your vision, and objectives so that your public gets involved with your brand. So, what do I mean by this? If your content is just random content, you're just posting to post, you're just throwing things out there to be active, then it's not necessarily reflecting your goals, your missions. They're not attracting like the little magnet here. They're not attracting your ideal client because it's just random content, right? It's just gonna get lost. They'll just like it, whatever. But if it reflects what you stand for, if it reflects your goals. An example would be a lot of people, since the holidays are coming up, a lot of people, let's say for November, for Thanksgiving, they'll do like a giving back, or, saying thank you, gratitude campaign kind of thing. And then they'll just tie it in with their business. So let's say that maybe you have a spa and you like giving back to the community. So maybe you start saying, hey, for this month, every purchase certain percentage is going to go to this hospital or this school, or to buy toys to donate to a school, stuff like that. So that's an example of like a holiday campaign that you can do, and you can do like a quick short reel or video either speaking about it or showing like behind the scenes of maybe from the previous year if you did it, showing what happened, like you boxing up the toys or handing them out to the kids, whatever, so that people can see that you're doing something else rather than just wanting to attract money for the holiday season. And you want them to get involved. If how do they get involved? They'll share it. They'll say, "Hey, don't forget to go book with XYZ spa because they're doing this and that's amazing. I support that cause," whatever. Or if it's like a veteran owned, then you're going to have a lot of veterans sharing that, supporting you, cheering you on. So get creative and make sure you're always informing at the same time rather than just selling and selling every single day through your content. Number eight, don't just talk about your business on social media. This is related to number seven. You want to bring your audience closer, and this is a way to form a community. So, for instance, when I just started on Instagram, I want to say I was one of the ones that was posting random content as a graphic designer. I didn't know if I should just be posting my portfolio work or did people want to see my packages. Like I had no idea. So I really remember just throwing a little bit of everything every now and then until I really sat down. And of course, I wasn't growing fast at all because I didn't know. I was talking to everyone. And if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So until I sat down and made a strategy and really determined who was my target audience, what does my business stand for, who do I want to work with, and why? And did I want a one time client or a long term relationship with this person that I work with? Then that's when the whole concept of my social media strategy changed because this is when I started building a community by talking about women empowerment, hosting networking events, bilingual events, because I saw the lack of Spanish networking events in our community and I wanted to change this, right? I wanted to use the second language that I had to bring my community together and to not only educate them about branding and social media, but also be able to offer my services and be able to direct them in a way to support their business and be their go to for maybe they didn't have the budget right now to hire me, but through the education, they were able to start doing it by themselves and then eventually come back to me and work together. So this is what you want to do. Build a relationship, build a community so that you're in the back of their mind and the one day that they need you or that someone they know needs you, you're there. You're already there. They're like, here you go. I have this person's business card, or I know this person. They'll pull you up on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you are. That's where you want to be. Number nine, take advantage of social media statistics or analytics for top performers. So, this is when we're talking about the low cost of social media. So, Instagram and Facebook allow you to see analytics, really any platform. If you set it up as a business profile, you're able to see analytics, which means what content is performing best, which which age range is most active with your platform, with your content. How many videos did you post this week? Was that good? Was that bad? How many followers did you gain? How was engagement reach? This is all the information that can be read through your analytics, and it's free. It's inside the app. I know it's a little bit hard to read depending on the platform, but the information is there and it's not just there to be there, it's there to be used. So make sure that by reading this analytics, you sit down and implement it for next month's content or for your next campaign, right? Because if you just posted a bunch of reels and instead of doing good it was bad, you're not going to want to do the same thing the next month. You're going to want to mix it up. Well, maybe now we post carousels and with reels and I don't know, a static post, right? Like a mixture of things so that maybe we can post more behind the scenes, etc., so that people don't get bored of your content and they're still learning as you go. um, Number 10, use a mix of social networks and traditional media. There's a lot of people out there that think social media is the only way to make business, to sell your products, to put yourself out there, and it's not. I was one of those that was very comfortable with just doing business behind the camera, right? Behind the screen. While it is completely easier, it is not the only way to do business, and it shouldn't. You shouldn't neglect offline advertising, and you should remember that social media is a tool that, yes, it will benefit you if used correctly, but the rest depends on your strategies. So there's a lot of time that people hire social media managers and expect them to explode their business just by being consistent on their posting and engaging, interacting, and you can have a bunch of followers and really good analytics, but that will not guarantee you a lot of sales or for your business to explode. And yes, people have used that word when they've come to me. They want their business to explode. So you should be doing networking events. You should be, wherever industry you're in, you should be doing offline advertising, right? Like I said, maybe you go to local places around you and go drop off your business cards, go drop off your brochures, talk to the managers, see what event you guys could collaborate on so that you could come on board with your team and promote your business. Maybe pop-ups, which we have one coming up that Jasmine will talk about. um, find out what's going on in your city, or there's a lot of people that even travel to really get out there. go for it. Don't be scared. If you as the business owner can't do it and you have a team, train someone to do it for you, someone that you'll trust that will speak highly of your company and your services, and go out there and network, because social media really should not be your only way of bringing people in and making bookings or sales, etc. So now let's talk about social media tips for small businesses. The first off, which I've mentioned before, is to start with a plan, right? Set social media goals and objectives. So, for example, you could aim to acquire customers and raise your conversion rate rather than simply getting a lot of likes. So, what is conversion rate? I feel like a lot of you guys have heard of it, but it's just one of those terms that you don't know what it is. So conversion rate means that not only are you attracting people to your platform, to click on your post, you want them to convert. By conversion, it means that they landed on your website, they're gonna see your services, learn about you, but then the person that just like, okay, and then they leave, that's not a conversion, right? That was just kind of like you missed out on them and they missed out on you. If you use strategic copy and strategic visuals that really bring them to whatever call to action you had, and they end up booking a call, booking an appointment, or even sending you a DM, that's already moving them closer to that conversion, because they're converting from just a person browsing on Instagram to an actual potential customer. And that's what you want. That conversion rate is what is determining if you're doing things right or not on social media. Because everything should be strategically planned to convert that person that is just browsing, or maybe they're already your followers, but they still haven't booked with you. That conversion is what will be your form of, I guess, proving if your strategy and your efforts are working. So a lot of people always want a lot of followers, a lot of likes, and if you don't get that, you think that the plan is not working. Don't focus on that. Focus on the conversion rate. How many bookings, how many sales are you getting? How many DMs are you getting a day? This is what should be more aligned with your goals and objectives, rather than just the visual stuff like the number of followers, likes, whatever. Shares and saves are more important now than likes and followers, because like I said, the number of followers does not reflect how much money you're making, right? Or how popular your product is. So if you have that in your mind right now, it's time to erase it. And I know that's how Instagram kind of trained us in the past, but we are past that now, and Instagram is just going to keep changing. They keep improving things, developing new features, so we cannot rely on followers and likes anymore. This is all about the conversion. With that being said, you got to research the competition. So, what are your competitors doing on Instagram? And I don't mean go and copy every single thing that your competitor is doing because they have more followers than you. By this, I mean perform a social media audit, which is number three. This is going to cover the strengths and weaknesses if you already have a platform, right? So you're going to sit down and do the research. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And what are your competitors doing? And then compare numbers, right? How many times are they posting on social media? What type of content are they posting? Are they mixing it up, or is it just video? Maybe it's a mixture. What are they doing? Are they doing a certain campaign? Use this as inspiration, and rather than just copying, right? Do it as inspiration and then apply it to your business, to your product, whatever you have, to develop your own campaign, your own strategy, because you don't want to fall behind from your competition. You want to be ahead of them, actually. So by using their stuff as inspiration, then you can actually sit down and see what's the strengths and weaknesses of their campaign, of their bio, product, website, whatever. And then from there, you can come up with a plan to move forward, especially if you are a new social media account, like fairly new, I mean like less than 1,000 followers. This is the excellent time to do so. And even then, like if you're in business for four plus years, you should be doing a social media audit at least every 3 to 6 months. Why? Because you want to measure your results so far. Is your strategy working? Is it time to change it? Because your strategy should not be the same for years, right? Your strategy changes over time based on your goals. Your business is growing, so your strategy is not going to stay the same. So don't be afraid to conduct a social media audit every 3 to 6 months and then change up your strategy and your plan from there, from the results. If you're keeping the same strategy, eventually it's going to stop working because, like I said, the platforms are changing, your audience is changing, your business is changing. So you got to keep up with all the changes. Number four, create a social media calendar. So I would recommend starting with the 80 to 20% rule. You want to use 80% of your content to inform, educate, or entertain your audience. Again, depends on your industry and your business. Use the other 20% to promote your brand and sell your products, right? Because we all get tired of buy this now, now, now. It's all selling, selling. And like I mentioned earlier, you want to connect, you want to make a deeper connection with them, that relationship, so that they become loyal followers, loyal clients. So a social media calendar is pretty much when you take the time to sit down, plan your content based on the strategy, like I mentioned. And then from there, you'll plan out what days you're going to post, what time, write your captions, write your hashtags, and your content is planned out for the month or for the week. And then you'll be able to visually see the 80-20 rule, right? Okay, so if I'm going to post 3 to 4 times a week, I can do 3 to 4 posts of selling or promotion. So what do I recommend? Do at least 1 to 2 where you do a promotion or just kind of like, hey, we're located here, come see us. And then you can do the other 80%, which would be maybe the other 3 posts if you just do one promotional. Do those about or alternate them. One can be about information. So if you're a spa, you probably want to inform about skincare or about a new procedure you have, right? If you have an educational post, how does laser hair work? How does a dermaplane facial work? Um, Entertain your audience, right? So entertain is a little bit easier now because there's so many trending audios for reels that you literally can do in 15 seconds. So find one that fits your niche. And if it's not necessarily about your niche, make it your own. And you can make it your own by adding the little captions or title like, if I had $1 for every time people told me this, and then you just use that audio and it's already trending. So it's gonna allow you to get on that explore page and bring more people in or attract more people in. If you make them laugh, I promise you they're gonna follow you, they're gonna comment, they're gonna like the content because we like entertainment. That's what social media was for, if you know, at the beginning. But as a business, you shouldn't move completely away from entertainment because if you can add that to your strategy, it will put you ahead of the game. So always remember 80-20 rule, and creating a social media calendar will save you time, and it's part of your initial plan before you start posting. If you just start posting, you're just throwing random things out there. You want to be purposeful and have value in everything that you post. So, number five, you want to connect with other entrepreneurs and influencers in your niche. Um, by other influencers and entrepreneurs, for example, I feel that it's obviously easier to connect with other entrepreneurs when you're barely starting out because you can either start connecting with people that are in your same industry and just, go to networking events, meet them in person, or schedule. A lot of times, I just literally schedule like a virtual meeting or let's go grab some coffee just to kind of get to know each other, see what they do. For instance, there might be things that your business doesn't do or is not truly comfortable doing, and you get a lot of clients ask for that. So that's a way to connect with others and see how you could potentially collaborate in the future. For influencers, there's, a lot of influencers, nano, micro, macro, a bunch of names that you can look for depending on the number of followers they have. One example is Traders Village in Grand Prairie. They recently partnered with some local influencers, and what they do is they pretty much invite them to come, walk around. Sometimes they might choose an overview of the place. Sometimes they might say, hey, come show them that we have Western boots or something like that. So then they'll go try them on, do a come with me to Trader's Village kind of video, or let's buy Western outfit at Trader's Village. And the amount of traffic that it drove to their page, it literally took them, I can't remember how many followers they had before, but after that they reached 10K. And so that's because of the followers and traffic that the girl brought to the she brought a lot of eyes to their page. So be strategic about it. Find a person that would fit your business, would fit the vibe, the tone, your mission, everything, and make sure that her audience is also aligned with who you want to serve. You don't want to do random influencers that are probably not going to care about your product. So be strategic about it. Work with your budget and your goals, and it can be very beneficial. Or collaborations. A lot of times those collaborations can be free, like I said, with other entrepreneurs. Plan an event, go live with them, whatever. Bring two audiences together and get more eyes on your business. Mention followers in your post and stories. Like I mentioned earlier, when they post about you, we're literally doing you a favor because we're not influencers. We're not getting paid to go talk about you, go talk about your business, your product. So if people take the time to do that because they truly loved your place, your product, your service, go repost them, go say a thank you, go show them some love because they're showing you love for free, right? Number seven, use the social platforms built-in interactive tools. So you'll see on the right-hand side, I have an example for this number. So Panera Bread, they launched a relationship building campaign this summer to draw attention to its new coffee subscription. So they announced that they would give away free coffee all summer if 500,000 people voted. And in their tweet, they used a Twitter poll. So they wanted to evaluate if the coffee subscription program was something that customer were going to value, right? Otherwise, why waste time and effort on there? So the director of their marketing brand decided to do a poll, and she said, "Do you want free unlimited premium coffee all summer?" 500,000 votes for yes by a certain date, and it's yours. And so they also, like you can see, they used their own hashtag free coffee for summer to track and see how many people were talking about the campaign. And she puts a visual and then she puts the poll, right? And look at the 24K likes, all the votes. And the answers were so simple: yes or no, I prefer to pay. You don't need to go all out. Like, it was so simple, and it worked so well for them because she knew how to use the interactive tools already inside the app, but also throw in her creativity and the simpleness of it. So, like their own hashtag, give them a deadline so that they don't think they can vote forever. And from this, they were able to see if their program was something that, was worth doing. So, for you guys, Instagram also has polls, Instagram has little quizzes, Instagram has like options where you can do like this or that kind of thing, or the little slider, like slide if you agree, or have you, is this you, whatever, or just like a laughing emoji. There's so many ways that you can get creative with this. So don't be afraid to use them, and don't neglect using them, because it will help you with your engagement. It can start conversations, and you can also start seeing who's active, who's mostly active on your stories, and interact with them, offer them a promo code. If they've visited you before, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Here's a code for the fall, whatever, right? Just some ideas. Number eight, pay attention to trends. We talked about real audios and memes. So we all saw that Will Smith meme that was so popular. It eventually got old, but there's memes like this that sometimes you can bring into your business. I would recommend to be really careful and strategic about it, because you don't want to drive people away from your account, right? Make sure they're not like offensive in any way, and that you are very clear about how you're using it. Focus on quantity over quality. This goes back to, you don't have to post 5, 7 days a week, right? Be strategic about it. If you're gonna post 2 to 3 times or once a week, depending on your business, make it a good one. Make it valuable, make it reshareable, make it worth worth people time. And if anything, I recommend staying more active on stories because stories are more one-on-one connection and people like that. People like seeing the behind the scenes. Maybe have one of your employees do like a day as whatever role they are at your company. So let's say Jasmine, a day as a workshop host at Ser Nacional, and then they'll do it. Like it's just, little ideas for behind the scenes or for interactive posts like this. Use your imagination and just stay active because if you're not active, people will forget you with all the crowdedness that we have on social media. Number 10, always keep your audience's current needs in mind. And remember that what worked last year might not work today because Jasmine and I were just talking about it. The online world changes constantly, and especially the platforms. Instagram is not done making updates, making stuff. So we, even if we work in social media, we have to stay up to date. It's a continuous learning procedure. So I know that it can feel overwhelming sometimes, but just do your research. Take some time once a month to read a blog about what's new, what updates have been happening, and how you can, bring them into your business. Oh, sorry. So this is just a quick quote. It says, no matter the size of your business, social tools can help you better connect with your audience, reach new potential customers, and increase awareness of your brand. If the possibilities seem overwhelming, just start small. So start small, 1 or 2 accounts when you're just beginning. Be strategic about what platforms you're going to put your efforts in. And don't feel that because you're a small business you can miss out on a big partnership, a big collaboration. The moment you start showing your true authentic self, or the meaning behind your product, your service, why you even started your business, who's your ideal client, that's the minute that your business structure changes because people feel connected, they feel identified, and then they're gonna start being more loyal to your content. They're gonna be eager for your content. They're not even gonna be like, oh, they posted again. They're gonna be like, hey, I haven't seen them. So then they'll go look you up to see what you're up to. That's where you wanna be. And lastly, you can also save time and grow your small business by hiring a social media manager, which it is a service that I offer. So if you guys are ever interested or have any questions, you have my phone number, email, and website on screen. And then you can also reach to Ser Nacional so that they can direct you my way. But that's all I have, Jasmine. And I don't know if there are any questions that I need to answer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So much valuable content, Estefania. Thank you so much. So we do have a question in our chat. Someone's asking how to find your Instagram account. For you, they said they looked up Estefania Garcia and there are a lot. So if you want to give your correct
Oh,
Instagram,
it's Estefania Designs. Designs.
Estefania
Yes.
Designs. Yep. Same as the Gmail account as well.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I could talk to you forever. I have so many questions to kind of get the pump primed here while folks get their questions together. So you were talking about an example of a spam comment versus a not spam comment. Can you be
Yes.
a little more specific about what that means if someone's trying to interact with another account?
Yes. So for me, I see a lot of robotic comments that say like, share your post here, send your post to, and then they put an account. Those are like bots that are just on Instagram, right? A real interaction for me when I'm trying to engage with my audience, I'll truly see what the post is about. And if it's like something I can relate to, like if it's funny or if it's sad and I'm like, oh, I've been there, done that, then I'll comment like, this is so me, or, like it doesn't even have to be a paragraph. A lot of times I also follow designers or social media managers, and they'll post like something that's relatable, either a struggle or a challenge. And I'll go comment, oh, this happened to me last week, and then just kind of give a short example. So, or sometimes they're like looking for recommendations for something. If you have it, then just go ahead and comment and be like, hey, I've heard of this brand, it's pretty good. Or hey, have you tried our product? We offer the hair extensions that might be the perfect fit for your hairstyle, something like that, to be more human and to build that interaction.
Perfect. Yeah, because you want to just, it's personable. Like you said, it's social. Let's be social.
Mhm. Yes.
We have a question from the chat. Estefania, how do you come up with ideas and where do you start if social media is a challenge for you?
So when it comes to ideas, I always recommend having content pillars. This means at least 4 to 5 main categories that are going to be like the top of your list, right? So like we talked about information, education, promotional, results or testimonials. So I like to do this for my clients because this is like the umbrella. And then from there, I write the ideas, right? So what can I do for education? And then I write a list. Oh, we can educate about skincare. We can educate about aftercare. We can do this and that for promotion. Let's talk about our 2 for 1 deal. Let's talk about our Christmas offer coming up, Black Friday coming up, stuff like that. So if you have pillars, it's gonna make it so much easier because you already have those categories to make your list from. If you just sit down and try to come up with random things, you're not gonna know if it's serving them a purpose. But when they're under that pillar, you know it's for a purpose. It's informing, it's educating, whatever your pillars are. And a lot of times you can go wrong with those that I mentioned because they are the most important. However, if there's not much to educate about your business, then you might be more heavy on the entertainment part or on how to use. But even the how to's are like instructionals, education. So you really can't go wrong with that. And I would also, like I said, research what your competitors are doing and where the gap is so you can fill it in.
A question for you, kind of going in line with, well, what if I don't know how to come up with ideas? Is it worth it to hire a copywriter if you struggle with writing something that's quirky or creative? If someone's like, Estephania, that's just not my lane. Is it worth it, bigger picture for your business, to hire a copywriter to write those captions for your social media posting?
Yeah, definitely. I think that sometimes there are websites that allow you, and it's obviously like a membership that you pay every month, allows you to type in kind of what your post is about, and then they'll generate stuff. But if you want it obviously more like completely tailored to your business, I would recommend, and a lot of times people don't go just for the copywriter because then they might also suck at creating the graphics. So they're like, oh, so usually what a social media manager does is they'll create pretty much the plan, the graphics, the captions, and they'll pretty much do it all for you. And then you have the option of whether you want it all done for you and then the business manually post or your team post this for you, or we also do that for them. So that's where that convenience comes in, and it's also saving you the time to go focus on continue to do business and do what you're good at rather than breaking your brain because you can't figure that out.
Yeah, because that is frustrating, and then it makes you want to stop and no, keep
Yes.
going, because that's the whole point. Okay, so you were talking about how, and we kind of discussed this before, you and I could talk to you forever about stuff like this, but how social media just constantly changes. Something that's cool or relevant in 2022 is outdated when you're looking at an article from 2020, which is only 2 years. It's not a lot, but it changes so much. So are hashtags even still a thing? And if they are, how do you use them? And what's too many?
Yes, that's a great question. I have clients that a lot of times they're like, well, I don't search hashtags when I'm on Instagram to find a business or product, right? But the truth is that they're not really to find you directly. They serve as keywords. So when you're on Google, you use keywords like I mentioned earlier, Dallas brand designer, Dallas energy drinks, whatever. And so when people search that up and in your hashtags you use something related to your niche, you're gonna show up on that explore page. Event right now, Instagram already did their little explore page where they have search by accounts, hashtags, or tags. So this means that it allows you to show up. You have the possibility to show up in all of these things where before it was just like only if they knew your username they could find you, but now it allows you to find more ways, be findable in more ways. So as far as too many, I think now it's not necessary to use all the 30 hashtags. You can even use 5 or 10. And as long as they're strategic and straight to your business and the point of whatever you're sharing, then you're off to a good start because you'll be findable. And it also helps people know what it's about. Or if you're being a part of someone's campaign and they're like, hey, share how you use our product, and they use that hashtag, then you as a business are able to find that person's content and interact with it and share it and see that your campaign is actually working.
Yeah, no, because and sometimes you'll see hashtags where you're like, okay, that's not even a thing. You totally made that up.
Yeah, and don't use hashtags that are like millions of users, trillions, like they're overpopulated and your content is, if you're a small business, your content's just gonna get lost in all of that. So try to be strategic. I always try to use hashtags that are, in the thousands, less than 1 million for sure. Like use smaller ones and then use some in the middle and then some big ones, but not too many, so that your content is findable for pretty much all three markets, if you can say, so that it doesn't get lost in the social media world.
That is good to know because I think the misconception is, well, if 3 billion people are searching this hashtag, then that means mine's gonna, no, it's gonna get flooded out, right?
Yeah, like especially when they're very generic. Like if I have a hair product, a lot of people will use like hashtag hair, hashtag extensions, and that's cool and all, like it's still related, but it's more than likely not serving you because every business is probably using that and you're getting lost in there. So I would use more specific, like for instance, I would use Dallas extensions, Dallas, I don't know, Dallas color specialist, Dallas something. Like use your city, use your specialty, use your unique point of selling when you're finding these hashtags so that they can be more targeted and attract your ideal client, but also position your business in the right market.
Well, and it's interesting. We have a follow-up sort of comment on the initial question about coming up with ideas. It says, I agree. I'm not active on social media at all, and I've had people just find me by hashtags only. So you
Mhm.
just never know
Yeah.
the power of the hashtag. So, Estefania, what are some common mistakes that you're actually seeing that business owners do when it comes to their social media accounts or channels or, however their little outlets are that they think, okay, this is right, it's going to crush, but it's actually hurting their brand?
That's a great question. I would say one is definitely posting random things just to post. Because I know they always hear quality over quantity, but they're like, I feel like posting today, and then they just throw something out there. And a lot of times, and it still happens when they hire a social media manager. I can't tell you the times that we have their whole month plan and it's all good. And then I wake up and there's like a random post, and I'm like, what happened? What happened? It might hurt them visually in their feed, but it's also hurting the strategy because if we were promoting a specific campaign or service and then they throw a random thing in there, it's like, oh, what service did that serve? I'd also say not utilizing stories, the interactive features that the apps have, not interacting with the customers, and not having a consistent voice across all platforms. Um, so if I'm interacting with your business on Instagram, I should feel that I'm talking to the same person if I talk to you on Facebook, because that's part of your brand's voice and it's part of your branding. So it should be consistent and aligned throughout everything that has your logo or name on it. Um, and I'd also say possibly not following up with people right after they purchased from you, after they interacted with you. Just the lack of being social, very robotic. And check your links everywhere. There's a lot of time where my clients will have the wrong links on their website to, like, I'll check on their Instagram and it takes me to like a broken link or like the wrong page, and I have to tell them, hey, your links are not correct on your website. Make sure all links are always updated. A lot of times when we have a bunch of links on our bio, some of them are outdated. So make sure you keep up with that as well. So everything's clean and updated. That let us know that it's an active account and, you know.
Yeah, and consistency, details, all that is key. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Estefania. Valuable information today. Like you did mention during your presentation, before we go, we want to mention the Ser Mercado pop-up shop that's coming up.
Yes.
Super excited about this. As you can see the details right there on your screen, October 22nd. So right around the corner, come support small business. There's going to be a bunch of fun raffles, just a fun day, music, food, vendors. And like we said, come support small business. It's going to be an awesome fair there in Irving, basically in Sarah's backyard. So come on out. Thank you all for joining us today. The replay of this session will be up on Sarah National's YouTube channel by next Wednesday, so don't forget. And Sarah will be back with another session a week from today, same time, same place, same valuable content. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.